Let's talk about psychic abilities. Hi, I'm Erin Werley and I channel God. So, unlike 99.9% of psychics out there, I was not born with psychic abilities turned on. And I lived an incredibly normal life until I was 28 years old. I was just normal girl next door. Nothing interesting was happening in my life at all. And then I met my husband, and he was into the idea that there was a creator on the earth. And I'm like, what? What? And I started getting interesting. And then we watched The Secret together. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is fascinating. Do you mean I'm creating my world with my thoughts? Okay. And I read a few more books. And then I read that somebody actually developed their psychic abilities simply by essentially spending about a half hour a day working on that. And I was like, what do you mean I could get answers to my questions if I just practiced for a half hour a day? I was like, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. So 28 years old, and I start spending a half hour a day practicing developing psychic abilities. Only took me about 30 days. And all of a sudden, I was channeling the voice of God and I was getting answers to everything. Anyway, the early transcripts from me channeling God turned into my book, One Truth, One Law, I Am, I Create. So definitely pick that up and read it if you have not already. But here's the thing. My life purpose here is to tell people who weren't born with their psychic abilities turned on that you're psychic, that it's normal for humans to have psychic abilities, and that it's easy to turn them on. Now, I teach within Quantum Lightwork Academy, I teach people how to activate their psychic abilities, but it actually doesn't take 30 minutes a day. It takes more like 10 minutes a day of consistent practice over a month or two. And Quantum Lightwork Academy is actually 6 months with then a few more bonus months. So we go very, very deep into the development of your psychic abilities. But the fact of the matter is that all humans have the ability to interact psychically. We are psychic beings. And the idea of psychic is really based on the concept of oneness, that we are all one, and that the quantum field is all around and through us, so that we are constantly interacting with it. And so even when we don't recognize some of the things that are happening to us are happening psychically, they are. For example, I had no idea most of my life when I was feeling incredibly depressed. It wasn't actually coming from me, it was coming from other people thinking thoughts about me and sometimes actually psychically attacking me, even if they didn't recognize they were doing it. And you'll see this a lot. A lot of people are actually giving out advice to psychically attack other people. When you psychically attack another person, you're attempting to control another person with your mind. And one of the big areas I see this all over the place is in romance, in how to get someone to love you by controlling them with your mind. And it's just, that's not the kind of karma you want to be putting out into the universe. I can say that much about it. But the fact of the matter is that people are doing this to each other. And so that's one big thing. We want to develop our psychic gifts so that we can protect ourselves. And it also, the other big reason is like, it feels amazing to receive this information. I'm at the point now, I've developed my psychic abilities to where I can actually receive past life information about myself and other people. I see things for the future. And the thing about me was, I'm not just saying like I didn't hear the voice of God in my head. I literally couldn't even visualize. I was one of those people that could not visualize, but through practice, I can visualize now. And I can receive things through all of my psychic senses. I have very, very, very strong psychic senses, whereas I had none before. So wherever you are on that spectrum, I want you to release this idea that psychic senses are for those other people, those golden people, the people that were born with it, right? The people that are already doing it. They are simply there to let the rest of us know that this is possible for us as well. Now, the world is awakening in a huge way. Spirituality is becoming more popular, and it's because we have more energy, light flooding into the planet right now than ever before. And what this means is, whereas it took me 30 days, 12 years ago to start hearing the voice of God in my head, you can do it faster. You can do it quicker. But you have to know that you're looking for that, and you have to choose to go after it. Okay. But I want you to know, that's what I want you to know more than anything while you're listening to this video, is this is for you. You are meant to have your psychic senses turned on. You're not meant to be out here floundering in the world trying to figure it out on your own. When you came here as a soul, you knew that you would have an opportunity to develop your psychic senses so that you could connect in with the non-physical guidance available to us and be shown the path forward in your life so that you would be able to essentially do the things that your soul came here to accomplish in this lifetime on earth. So if you're having thoughts of, I'm not sure what I'm here to do in life, I really wish I had a better idea, or I'm not sure what steps to take next, I wish somebody would just wave a magic wand and tell me what I should do. If that's where you are right now in your life, first of all, you're not alone. And there was once a time when I felt very, very, very much like that. And second of all, start developing your psychic gifts. Okay. Now, this can be as simple as starting a practice for 10 or 15 minutes a day where you sit down and simply intend to receive. Okay. And there's so many more things you can do. Essentially, maybe I will make another video on some of the things that you can do, but it's all about asking for it. Asking for these things to begin to be turned on, because the universe just normally does not on our life paths give us psychic gifts when we aren't asking for them. The universe only wants to essentially work with the people who are ready to work with it, who are asking for these things. But unfortunately for most of us, even though we want it, even though we might be Googling it or looking it up on YouTube, how do I develop my psychic abilities? I wish I could develop my psychic abilities. Let me tell you what we actually end up doing. We don't ask the universe, God, source, light beings, angels, we don't ask any of these beings to assist us with turning on our psychic gifts. And that's part of this process, is we have to ask for it, not just wonder on Google. When we're wondering on Google, it's because we don't think we have the ability to ask. We don't understand that we are a psychic broadcasting and receiving tower. Whether any of your gifts are available to you or not, you are a psychic broadcasting tower, broadcasting out frequencies, energies constantly all day long, even when you're sleeping. Okay. And so you must literally ask for it, saying, God, source, universe, angels, I'm ready to receive my psychic gifts. So I guess there we go. I don't have to make the video because that's the video. That's the first step. And then you start making space daily, whether it's 5, 10, 15 minutes, to sit there and ask to begin to receive these things coming through. You know, there's all kinds of ways to shortcut it. In Quantum Lightwork Academy, that's exactly what we do. I do energy work with you that assists you to begin to experience this quickly and easily. But you don't need anyone else to turn on your psychic gifts. You just have to make the space every single day and ask for it and be willing to receive it. Now, the other thing I will say about this is sometimes when we start receiving it, it doesn't look the way that we think it's going to look. For example, you might be expecting to receive psychic abilities in, say, a voice in your head or seeing images. And maybe it's coming through as psychic knowing instead, or it's coming through as a feeling in your body. And so what most people will do is they won't recognize it and they'll push that away and say, oh, this is getting in my way. I'm trying to do this other thing, instead of recognizing, oh, this is the first psychic ability that's coming through for me. What I need to do is focus all of my attention on it and explode it, make it bigger. And then once I've made this as big as it wants to be, then the next one's going to be ready to start dropping in. So I just love talking about psychic abilities simply because it's like magic. And when you start going deeper into this, you start recognizing that you've been magic all along. So I hope this was so helpful to you, sending you all so much love. And if you haven't already subscribed, please hit the link below and also the notification bell so that you don't miss out on my daily videos.